Did you know that some of the healthiest fruits you've eaten your whole life could actually put your health at serious risk after 70? Most people assume that fruit is always good for you, no matter your age. But what doctors are now discovering is that certain fruits can trigger dangerous complications in older adults, especially if you have common conditions like diabetes, high blood pressure, or kidney problems. If you or someone you love is over 70, this video might change the way you think about your daily fruit choices forever. In this video, we're exploring 7 fruits that seniors should avoid or eat with extreme caution, and the hidden medical reasons why they can be harmful. Each fruit on this list is backed by real-life experiences, doctor warnings, and scientific evidence that most people never hear about. Stay with me until the end, because the last fruit is one that almost everyone keeps in their kitchen, but it could be silently damaging your health right now. I'll walk you through the medical explanations, practical alternatives, and real stories that show why these choices matter more than you think. Now, let's get started. Number 1. Grapefruit, the medication nightmare. Grapefruit seems like the perfect healthy breakfast choice. It's packed with vitamin C, low in calories, and refreshing. But for seniors over 70, especially those taking daily medications, grapefruit can be one of the most dangerous fruits you can eat. Here's why doctors are so concerned about it. Grapefruit contains natural compounds called furanocoumarins that interfere with an enzyme in your liver called CYP3A4. This enzyme is responsible for breaking down more than 50 different types of medications, including those for cholesterol, blood pressure, heart rhythm, anxiety, and even some cancer treatments. When you eat grapefruit, these compounds block that enzyme, which means your medications stay in your bloodstream much longer than they should. Instead of your body processing the drug safely, it builds up to dangerous, even toxic levels. The consequences can be severe. Doctors have seen patients experience sudden drops in blood pressure, irregular heartbeats, kidney damage, muscle breakdown, and even life-threatening bleeding. All because they didn't know that their morning grapefruit was interfering with their pills. What makes it even more dangerous is that you don't feel anything wrong at first. The effects build up silently over days or weeks until something serious happens. This isn't just about fresh grapefruit either. Grapefruit juice, dried grapefruit, and even some citrus blends can have the same effect. And the interaction doesn't wear off quickly. Even if you stop eating grapefruit, it can take 24 to 72 hours for your body to clear those compounds and return to normal medication processing. Take the story of Margaret, age 73, who loved starting her day with half a grapefruit and her morning coffee. She'd been on cholesterol medication for years without any problems, but after a few weeks of eating grapefruit daily, she started feeling unusually weak and dizzy. Her doctor ran tests and discovered that her medication levels were dangerously high, putting her at risk for muscle damage and kidney failure. Once she stopped the grapefruit, her levels returned to normal within days. Margaret had no idea that something so healthy could turn so harmful. The lesson here is clear. If you're taking any prescription medications, check with your doctor or pharmacist before eating grapefruit or drinking grapefruit juice. There are plenty of other citrus fruits, like oranges or tangerines, that give you the same vitamins without the dangerous interactions. Protecting your health means understanding that even natural foods can interfere with the treatments keeping you alive. Number 2. Bananas, the hidden potassium. Danger. Bananas are one of the most popular fruits in the world, loved for their convenience, natural sweetness, and high potassium content. But for seniors over 70, especially those with kidney problems or taking certain heart medications, bananas can quietly become a serious health threat. The very nutrient that makes them healthy, potassium, is exactly what makes them risky. As you age, your kidneys naturally lose some of their ability to filter waste and balance minerals in your blood. If your kidney function is even slightly reduced, which is extremely common after 70, your body may struggle to get rid of excess potassium. When potassium levels climb too high, a condition called hyperkalemia, the effects on your heart can be swift and dangerous. High potassium can cause irregular heartbeats, chest pain, muscle weakness, and in severe cases, sudden cardiac arrest. What makes this even more concerning is that many medications commonly prescribed to seniors, such as ACE inhibitors, ARBs, and certain diuretics, are designed to help your heart and blood pressure by affecting how your kidneys handle potassium. These drugs can cause potassium to build up even faster. If you're eating bananas regularly while on these medications, you could be pushing your levels into the danger zone without realizing it. Doctors often see older patients who come in feeling tired, weak, or having heart palpitations, only to discover through blood tests that their potassium is far too high. And because the symptoms are so vague, many people dismiss them as just part of getting older. But ignoring those signs can lead to life-threatening complications. I think of Robert, age 76, who prided himself on his healthy habits. He ate a banana every morning with his oatmeal, thinking he was doing his heart a favor. But after starting a new blood pressure medication, he began feeling unusually fatigued and noticed his heartbeat felt off. His doctor checked his potassium levels and found they were dangerously elevated. Once Robert cut back to eating bananas only once or twice a week and switched to lower potassium fruits, his symptoms disappeared and his heart rhythm stabilized. The takeaway is simple but important. Bananas aren't bad, but moderation and awareness matter. If you have any kidney issues, heart conditions, or take medications that affect potassium, talk to your doctor about how much potassium is safe for you. There are many other fruits, like apples, berries, or grapes, that provide great nutrition without the potassium overload. Staying healthy after 70 means paying attention to how even the healthiest foods interact with your body's changing needs. Number 3. Dried fruits, the sugar trap. Dried fruits like raisins, dates, prunes, and apricots seem like a perfect healthy snack. They're natural, portable, and packed with fiber and nutrients. But for seniors over 70, especially those managing diabetes, prediabetes, or weight concerns, dried fruits can be a hidden sugar trap that does more harm than good. Here's what most people don't realize. When fruit is dried, almost all the water is removed, which concentrates the natural sugars into a much smaller package. A handful of raisins or a few dried apricots can contain as much sugar as a candy bar, sometimes even more. And because they're so small and easy to eat, it's incredibly easy to consume far more than you intended. What would have been 2 or 3 fresh apricots becomes a dozen dried ones without thinking twice. For older adults, especially those whose bodies no longer process sugar as efficiently, this concentrated sugar rush can cause blood glucose levels to spike dangerously high. Even if you're not diabetic, repeated spikes in blood sugar can lead to insulin resistance, weight gain, inflammation, and increased risk of heart disease over time. And if you are diabetic or pre-diabetic, eating dried fruit without understanding the impact can throw your blood sugar out of control for hours. Doctors also warn that dried fruits often have added sugars or syrups to make them even sweeter and more appealing, especially in trail mixes or pre-packaged snacks. What you think is a healthy choice might actually be loaded with extra calories and hidden sugars that your body doesn't need. For seniors trying to manage their weight or blood pressure, these extra calories can quietly sabotage your efforts. There's also the issue of portion control. Fresh fruit naturally limits how much you eat because of its water content and size. But dried fruit tricks your brain. You can eat a cup of dried fruit in minutes, which is the equivalent of eating 4 or 5 whole pieces of fresh fruit, along with all the sugar and calories that come with it. I remember Dorothy, age 78, who loved snacking on dried mango and raisins in the afternoon. She thought she was making a healthy choice compared to cookies or chips. But after her doctor noticed her blood sugar levels creeping higher and her weight slowly climbing, they took a closer look at her diet. It turned out that those innocent handfuls of dried fruit were adding hundreds of extra calories and sugar spikes to her day. Once Dorothy switched to fresh fruit, her blood sugar stabilized, and she even lost a few pounds without feeling deprived. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 3 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 4. Watermelon, the blood sugar roller coaster. Watermelon is the ultimate summer fruit. It's refreshing, hydrating, and feels like a guilt-free treat because it's mostly water. But for seniors over 70, especially those with diabetes, insulin resistance, or weight management concerns, watermelon can cause unexpected problems that most people never consider. The issue isn't the water content, it's how quickly your body processes the sugar inside. Watermelon has a high glycemic index, which means the natural sugars in it are absorbed into your bloodstream very rapidly. When you eat a few slices of watermelon, your blood sugar can spike much faster than with other fruits like apples or berries. For older adults whose bodies are slower to produce or respond to insulin, this sudden surge can be overwhelming. Your pancreas has to work harder to release insulin, and if it can't keep up, your blood sugar stays elevated longer than it should. What makes this even more dangerous is that after the initial spike, your blood sugar often crashes just as quickly, leaving you feeling tired, shaky, irritable, or even hungrier than before. This roller coaster effect can make it harder to control your appetite, lead to overeating later in the day, and put extra stress on your heart and blood vessels. For someone managing diabetes, even a seemingly harmless fruit like watermelon can throw off your entire day's blood sugar control. Doctors also point out that because watermelon is so easy to eat and feels light, people tend to consume much larger portions than they realize. A few slices can easily turn into half a melon, especially on a hot day. And while the water content is beneficial for hydration, the sugar load adds up quickly. What you think is a healthy snack can deliver as much sugar as a soda or dessert, just in a different form. There's also concern for seniors who are trying to manage their weight. While watermelon is low in calories per bite, the rapid blood sugar spikes can trigger increased hunger and cravings for more carbohydrates. This cycle makes it harder to stick to healthy eating patterns and can contribute to gradual weight gain over time, which increases the risk of heart disease, joint problems, and other age-related conditions. Take the example of James, age 74, who loved eating watermelon every afternoon during the summer. He thought he was making a smart choice by choosing fruit over sweets. But after checking his blood sugar with a home monitor, he was shocked to see how high his levels went after just a few slices. His doctor explained that while watermelon isn't forbidden, eating smaller portions alongside protein or healthy fats could help slow down the sugar absorption and prevent those dangerous spikes. James started pairing a small amount of watermelon with a handful of nuts, and his blood sugar stayed much more stable. The lesson here is about awareness and moderation. Watermelon isn't necessarily bad, but understanding how it affects your body is crucial. If you have diabetes, prediabetes, or struggle with blood sugar control, consider limiting your portions, eating it with other foods that slow digestion, or choosing lower glycemic fruits like berries or cherries instead. Your body deserves steady, reliable fuel, not the unpredictable highs and lows that can leave you feeling worse instead of better. Number 5. Pineapple, the digestive disruptor. Pineapple is tropical, delicious, and packed with vitamins and enzymes that are supposed to be good for digestion. But for seniors over 70, especially those with sensitive stomachs, acid reflux, or inflammatory conditions, pineapple can cause more discomfort than benefit. The very enzymes that make it special are also what make it risky for older adults. Pineapple contains a powerful enzyme called bromelain, which breaks down proteins and is often used as a natural meat tenderizer. While this enzyme can aid digestion in small amounts, it can also irritate the lining of your mouth, throat, and stomach, especially if you eat too much or your digestive system is already sensitive. For older adults who commonly deal with acid reflux, GERD, or gastritis, pineapple's high acidity combined with bromelain can trigger painful burning, heartburn, and even damage to the esophagus over time. Doctors see many seniors who complain of increased stomach pain, bloating, or mouth sores after eating pineapple regularly. The acidity can wear down tooth enamel, irritate ulcers, and worsen existing inflammation in the digestive tract. For those taking medications like aspirin, NSAIDs, or blood thinners, pineapple can also increase the risk of stomach bleeding because bromelain affects blood clotting and can amplify the side effects of these drugs. There's also a lesser-known concern about pineapple's interaction with certain medications. Bromelain can increase the absorption of some antibiotics and blood thinners, making them more potent than intended. This can lead to unexpected side effects or even dangerous complications if your doctor isn't aware that you're eating large amounts of pineapple regularly. It's another example of how natural foods can interfere with medical treatments in ways most people never suspect. For seniors with arthritis or joint inflammation, some might think pineapple's anti-inflammatory properties are helpful. And while bromelain does have some anti-inflammatory effects, the digestive irritation it causes can outweigh those benefits, especially if you're eating fresh pineapple in large quantities. Canned pineapple has less bromelain because the heat from canning breaks down the enzyme, but it often comes packed in heavy syrup, which adds unnecessary sugar and calories. I think of Linda, age 79, who loved fresh pineapple and ate it almost daily because she heard it was good for digestion. But she started experiencing severe heartburn and stomach discomfort that wouldn't go away. Her doctor asked about her diet and discovered the pineapple was likely the culprit. Once Linda cut it out and switched to gentler fruits like papaya or melon, her symptoms improved dramatically within a week. She was surprised that something so natural could cause so much trouble. The takeaway is that pineapple isn't for everyone, especially as you age. If you experience any stomach pain, heartburn, mouth irritation, or digestive upset after eating pineapple, it's a sign your body is telling you to avoid it. There are plenty of other fruits that offer similar vitamins without the harsh acidity or enzyme activity. Listening to your body and respecting its limits is one of the smartest things you can do to protect your health and comfort in your later years. Number 6, grapes, the choking hazard and sugar concern. Grapes are sweet, convenient, and a favorite snack for people of all ages. But for seniors over 70, grapes present two serious risks that are often overlooked. They're one of the most common choking hazards, and their concentrated natural sugars can create problems for those managing diabetes or weight. Let's talk about why something so small can be so dangerous. First, the choking risk. Grapes are round, smooth, and the perfect size to block an airway completely if swallowed whole. For older adults who may have difficulty chewing, swallowing, or who suffer from conditions like dysphagia, swallowing difficulty, Parkinson's, or stroke-related weakness, grapes can become life-threatening. Doctors and emergency responders have seen too many cases where a grape gets lodged in the throat, cutting off air and causing panic, injury, or even death. What makes it worse is that grapes are often eaten quickly and without much thought, especially when watching TV or talking, which increases the risk of swallowing one whole by accident. Even if you don't have a diagnosed swallowing problem, aging naturally weakens the muscles involved in chewing and swallowing. Your reflexes slow down, and your ability to cough forcefully decreases. This means that a grape that might have been harmless at 40 can become a serious hazard at 70. Health professionals strongly recommend cutting grapes into halves or quarters before eating them, no matter how silly it might feel. That simple step can save your life. Beyond the choking risk, grapes are surprisingly high in sugar. A cup of grapes contains about 23 grams of natural sugar, which is more than many other fruits. For seniors managing diabetes, prediabetes, or insulin resistance, eating grapes without portion control can cause blood sugar levels to rise quickly. And because they're so easy to pop in your mouth one after another, it's incredibly easy to eat far more than you realize. What starts as a small handful can quickly become 2 or 3 cups, along with all the sugar and calories that come with it. Doctors also warn that dried grapes or raisins concentrate that sugar even further, creating the same problems we talked about with other dried fruits. The natural sugars become more potent, and portion control becomes even harder. For older adults trying to manage their weight or blood sugar, grapes and raisins can sabotage their efforts without them even noticing. There's also a concern about grapes and kidney health. While grapes contain beneficial antioxidants, eating them in large amounts can contribute to higher potassium intake, which we already discussed as a risk for those with kidney problems or on certain medications. Combined with their sugar content, grapes become a fruit that requires careful moderation, not unlimited snacking. Take the story of Walter, age 81, who loved keeping a bowl of grapes on his kitchen table for easy snacking. One afternoon, while reading the newspaper, he swallowed a grape whole and felt it get stuck in his throat. He couldn't breathe or call for help. Luckily, his wife was home and performed the Heimlich maneuver just in time. After that frightening experience, Walter started cutting his grapes into pieces and being much more mindful about how he ate them. That simple change gave him peace of mind and kept him safe. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 7. Mangoes. The hidden allergen and sugar bomb mangoes are exotic, delicious, and feel like a tropical vacation in fruit form. They're creamy, naturally sweet, and packed with vitamins A and C. But for seniors over 70, mangoes can present unexpected challenges that go far beyond what most people realize. From hidden allergic reactions to concentrated sugar content, this beloved fruit deserves careful consideration before making it a regular part of your diet. First, let's talk about the allergy risk that almost no one knows about. Mangoes belong to the same plant family as poison ivy and poison oak. The skin of the mango, and sometimes even the flesh near the skin, contains a compound called urushiol, the same irritating oil that causes those itchy, painful rashes from poison ivy. For older adults with sensitive skin or existing allergies, handling or eating mangoes can trigger contact dermatitis, causing redness, itching, swelling, and blistering around the mouth, lips, and hands. Doctors have seen patients who developed severe allergic reactions after eating mangoes, including swelling of the throat, difficulty breathing, and even anaphylaxis in rare cases. What makes this particularly dangerous for seniors is that allergies can develop later in life, even if you've eaten mangoes without problems for years. Your immune system changes as you age, and foods that were once safe can suddenly become triggers. If you notice any itching, tingling, or swelling after eating mango, stop immediately and talk to your doctor. Beyond the allergy concern, mangoes are also extremely high in natural sugars. One medium mango can contain around 45 grams of sugar, which is more than a can of soda. For seniors managing diabetes, prediabetes, or trying to control their weight, eating a whole mango can send blood sugar levels soaring. And because mangoes are so sweet and satisfying, it's easy to eat more than one serving without realizing the sugar load you're taking in. The texture of mangoes can also be problematic for older adults with dental issues or swallowing difficulties. Mangoes have fibrous strings that can get stuck between teeth or in dentures, causing discomfort and making them harder to chew properly. For those with dysphagia or weakened chewing muscles, the slippery, stringy texture can increase the risk of choking or aspiration, where small pieces enter the airway instead of going down to the stomach. There's also a concern about mangoes and medication interactions. Mangoes are high in vitamin K, which plays a role in blood clotting. For seniors, taking blood thinners like warfarin, eating large amounts of mango can interfere with how well the medication works, either making it less effective or causing unpredictable changes in clotting time. This is especially important for those recovering from strokes, heart attacks, or managing atrial fibrillation, where consistent blood thinner levels are critical. Doctors also warn about the digestive effects of eating too much mango. Because of their high fiber and sugar content, mangoes can cause bloating, gas, diarrhea, or stomach cramps, especially if eaten on an empty stomach or in large quantities. For older adults with irritable bowel syndrome, diverticulitis, or sensitive digestion, mangoes can trigger uncomfortable flare-ups that last for days. I remember Carmen, age 77, who discovered mangoes at her local market and fell in love with them. She started eating one or two every day, thinking she was doing something healthy for her body. But within a few weeks, she noticed a persistent rash around her mouth, and her blood sugar readings were higher than they'd been in months. Her doctor connected the dots and suggested she stop eating mangoes for a while. Once she did, the rash cleared up, her blood sugar stabilized, and she felt much better overall. Carmen had no idea that such a delicious fruit could cause so many problems. The lesson here is simple. Mangoes aren't inherently bad, but they require awareness, moderation, and caution, especially if you have allergies, diabetes, dental issues, or take blood thinners. If you love mangoes and want to keep eating them, consider smaller portions. Peel them carefully to avoid skin contact and monitor how your body responds. There are many other fruits that offer similar vitamins and sweetness without the hidden risks, like papaya, peaches, or cantaloupe. Final thoughts as we wrap up today's video. I hope you're walking away with a deeper understanding of how the foods you eat, even healthy fruits, can affect your body differently as you age. Which of these 7 fruits surprised you the most? Did you recognize any of them in your own daily routine? This isn't about creating fear or taking away all your favorite foods. It's about giving you the knowledge and awareness to make smarter, safer choices that protect your health and independence in your 70s, 80s, and beyond. The truth is, aging changes everything about how your body works. Your kidneys don't filter as efficiently. Your liver processes medications differently. Your digestion becomes more sensitive. Your blood sugar regulation slows down, and your risk of choking, allergic reactions, and medication interactions increases. What worked perfectly for you at 40 or 50 might not be the best choice at 70 or 80, and that's okay. Adapting your habits to fit your body's current needs isn't giving up. It's honoring yourself and choosing to live well for as long as possible. If you're over 70, your food choices matter more than ever. Simple changes, like avoiding grapefruit, if you take medications, cutting grapes into smaller pieces, limiting dried fruits, and high sugar options like watermelon and mango, being cautious with pineapple if you have acid reflux, and moderating bananas if you have kidney concerns. These small adjustments can have a massive impact on your quality of life. You have the power to shape your diet to support your health, not work against it. Remember, you're not alone in this journey. Every senior faces new challenges as their body ages, but by sharing knowledge, supporting each other, and making thoughtful choices, we can all live longer, healthier, and more vibrant lives. If you're feeling uncertain about your diet or want personalized advice, don't hesitate to reach out to your doctor, a nutritionist, or a trusted healthcare provider. Your safety and well-being are worth the effort, and asking for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Think about the people in your life, your spouse, your siblings, your friends, who might benefit from hearing this information. Maybe they're still eating grapefruit with their morning pills, or snacking on handfuls of dried fruit without realizing the sugar impact, or popping whole grapes without thinking twice. Sharing this video with them could protect them from a dangerous medication interaction, a choking incident, or a blood sugar crisis. Knowledge is one of the most powerful gifts you can give to someone you care about. And if you're a family member watching this video to help an aging parent or grandparent, thank you. Taking the time to learn about these risks and having gentle, supportive conversations about dietary changes shows how much you love and value them. Approach these topics with respect and understanding, not fear or control. Help them make informed choices while still honoring their independence and dignity. Sometimes the smallest changes, like switching from grapefruit juice to orange juice, or pre-cutting grapes before serving them, can make all the difference without feeling restrictive or patronizing. As you move forward from today's video, I encourage you to take one small action. Maybe it's checking the label on your medications to see if grapefruit is listed as an interaction. Maybe it's cutting your grapes in half before eating them. Maybe it's swapping dried fruit for fresh berries in your morning oatmeal. Whatever it is, that one small step is a powerful act of self-care and a commitment to living your best life at any age. Thank you so much for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Share one thing you learned from this video and how you plan to use it in your daily life. Have you experienced any problems with these fruits before? Do you have questions about other foods you're unsure about? Your thoughts, experiences, and questions are incredibly valuable to us and to the community watching. Reading your comments not only helps us create better content, but also builds a supportive space where we can all learn from each other. If you found this video helpful, informative, or eye-opening, please give it a like. Share it with someone who needs to hear this message, and subscribe to our channel so you never miss important health information designed specifically for seniors. Hit that notification bell so you're always the first to know when we post new videos about aging well, staying healthy, and living independently for as long as possible. Your health is your most valuable asset, and protecting it starts with the small, everyday choices you make, including what you put on your plate. You deserve to feel strong, confident, and in control of your well-being, no matter your age. We're here to support you every step of the way with practical advice, real stories, and the wisdom that comes from understanding what seniors truly need. Thank you for watching, for caring about your health, and for being part of this community. We'll see you in the next video, where we'll continue exploring the topics that matter most to you. Until then, take care of yourself, make wise choices, and remember that every small change adds up to a healthier, happier you.